Hello, Namaskar, and a very good evening to all the viewers watching NCERT's live interactive session. This is Simran Singh, and you have all connected with us through eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Besides, there are so many different mediums through which you can connect with us, and you can also participate in our live sessions by raising your queries, your questions in the comment section of our YouTube channel that you all know. It is NCERT official. So it's around 4 p.m. on your watch, and regularly right from 4 till 5 p.m. we have our very special sessions for all our viewers. And once again, I would like to take this moment to welcome all of you in the 5 days online training programs running on leveraging digital technology for school and teacher education. Well, it's 7th of August, and let me apprise you that it's the first day of our online training program, and we are going to conduct this online training sessions till 11th of August 2023. That is for 5 hours, 5 days at this particular time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And talking about leveraging technology, technological interventions in the process of teaching and learning plays a very important role in this ever-changing technological world. And at the same time, the 5 days online training programs will shed light on the major digital initiatives for the school leaders, for the teacher education, and also that would be helpful for the children as well. So viewers, today we are going to discuss about for day 1, leveraging digital technology for school and teacher education, and we are going to shed more light on the policy recommendations. Now, in case if you would like to explore more about these 5 days online training program, so it is very simple. All you have to do is just explore the website of CIET NCERT. So let's have a look at our screens. So as you can see on this particular web page, that there are 3 types of activities: the current activity, the completed activity, and the upcoming activity. So once you click here, it says online training on leveraging digital technology for school and teacher education. So as we are clicking at the web pages loading, you can see that this is the home page at your screens where you will land upon, and all the details about the 5 days online training programs have been uploaded for you. Be it the online banner, the topics that we are going to discuss, and let us quickly take a quick glance at the different areas that we are going to discuss for these 5 days. Today it's about the policy recommendations with regard to leveraging digital technology for school and teacher education. Tomorrow, that is on the second day of our online training program, we are going to elaborate more on leveraging broadcast for digital education. Then the day 3rd would be about leveraging digital platform for education. Day 4, it will be leveraging mobile applications for digital education. And the concluding day of the 5 days online training program is 11th of August, where we will discuss at length about the digital education through online courses. Now, the best part is you all can participate in the post-session quiz, that is our activity for all of you, whether it's a students, teacher educators, parents, administrators, or general public. Once you scroll down, you can see that it's the program schedule against the title of the program, the name of the panelist, and the banners, and shortly the video links will be uploaded. So just scroll down, and these are certain details about how you all can participate in our post-session activity. So step 1 is very important. It says registration. You can register yourself by clicking on this link, or either by scanning the QR code that is right there on your screens. Now you have to watch all the live training programs of CIET NCERT in order to answer thoroughly give the answers of the training activity that we have for all of you, and participation in the post-session activity and certification. Now you all can participate in the post-session quiz, and if you score over 70% or above, then you can receive a certificate. The opening date of the quiz will be 11th of August, that is the 5th day of our online training program, and the closing date is 21st August 2023. And one small request to all our viewers, if you have any doubts, any queries, anything you would like to ask from our experts, the panelists, so here is our mail ID flashing on your screens. This is the only mail ID where you can reach out to us with your queries with regard to certification for the online activity that we have for all of you, and you may kindly note it down. It is training.helpdesk@cret.nic.in. Further, you can always reach out to us at this contact number flashing on your screens. It is 8800440559. Now, I'll also introduce you to the expert, the speaker for today's program. But before that, here is an important piece of information for all of you. We are proud of the fact that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in this year, that's 2023. The nation is deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism. India's G20 presidency is a watershed moment in her history, as it seeks to play a very important role by finding global pragmatic solutions for the well-being of everyone, and in doing so manifesting the true spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or should I say the world is one family. So viewers, let's get back to our first day of the training program, and here in the conversation we are joined by Professor Amrendra P. Behra sir, Joint Director at CIET NCERT New Delhi. Namaskar sir, good evening.
Namaskar Simran, very good evening indeed.
Sir, we welcome you in the conversation. And sir, as we are discussing about leveraging technology, and sir, I request you to shed more light on the 5 days online training programs, and according to NEP's recommendations, this integration and use of technology, how is it helping everyone?
Thank you very much Simran, very good afternoon, good evening to all of you, and we extend a hearty welcome to all of you for joining this particular 1 hour training program. And as Simran has already mentioned, we will have a 5 days program, and from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Delhi for 5 days, Monday to Friday. So please do join us and know many more digital education initiatives taken up by Government of India under the aegis of Ministry of Education, and also major activities undertaken by NCERT under that. But since today it is focused on mainly the policy perspective, so I will be mainly focusing on the policy guidelines by Government of India and how NCERT as a stakeholder is implementing the National Education Policy 2020 in letter and spirit. So I will also be highlighting. So let us Simran go ahead. Yes. And I would like to mention that India is second to none as far as the system of education is concerned. It is huge. So we have 1.5 million schools, 15 lakh schools, 85 lakh teachers and 26 crore school students alone. And if we put together the higher education and school education students in India, so nearly they are numbering 33 crore. And also if we talk about the teacher education institutions in India, so there are nearly 17,000 plus teacher education institutions in India working, and more than 1,000 Indian universities are there. So indeed, if I say India is second to none as a system of education in the world, so it will not be overemphasizing. So it will be the correct connotation for that. So coming back to the policy direction, I must mention that India is very diverse, and if I take you through this particular slide, the issues and challenges of implementing technology in education. So there are lot of diverse conditions we have in the country. So out of that, diversity is one. So maybe it is socio-cultural, maybe economic, maybe educational, so maybe geographical, so many more. So the diversity is very key to India's particularly identity, and we in India so consider that diversity is a resource rather than an impediment in itself. So therefore, we all in the system, whether as a school teacher, as a national ICT awardee or any other awardee teacher, or a teacher educator from DIETS, from colleges of teacher education, from Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, or from SCRTs, from CIMENT, from State Institute of Educational Technologies, or in the Indian universities where education is also taught as a subject and educational technology as a paper. Many Indian universities, they have educational technology courses also, like the SNDT Women University and many more. So diversity is key, and also we need to understand the diversity so that the education system can be pitched to address this issue and challenge and address the diversity in a way. And infrastructure also, I must mention that another key diverse condition. If I talk about a secondary school in Tawang area in Arunachal Pradesh and a secondary school in Delhi, so there is a sea change as far as the infrastructural facilities are concerned. So it may be related to internet, it may be related to computer and hardware and software and the systems. So there is a sea change. So therefore infrastructural inequalities are there, will be there also, and we need to minimize that, and how technology can address that in a diverse way by taking care of a multimodal approach, that also we need to think. And another thing is scale, because in the beginning when Simran started and told me to express some of the views, I started with the numbers. So numbers in India are mind boggling. We are not particularly small countries like Maldives or Mauritius. So India is India, and many countries that will subsume, if I talk about the number of stakeholders in every, even the Indian youths are outnumbering in our population system, because 66% of our population are youth, and they will be spreading across the world again next 10-15 years. So therefore these diverse conditions needs to be taken into consideration. And while talking about scale, we know that the numbers needs to be scaled quickly, otherwise it will be difficult for us to reach out to every stakeholder. Then the technology competencies, all of us we know that whether it is a primary school teacher, whether it is a nursery school teacher, whether it is a school teacher teaching at secondary level or senior secondary level, all our teacher educators who are in DIETS, BITES, BRCs, CRCs and CT, IACs and universities and SCRTs and SIs, so their competence. So there is a variation in their competence, and we need to build that competence and bring quality into it, so that they are also trained in a way to take up new responsibilities, and they learn many things, unlearn many things and relearn many things, as policy has been giving emphasis on this. And two more points I would like to highlight, that is quality of digital resources. And while talking about engaging content, digital content, so quality of those contents are very essential, and there should be audios, videos, interactives, games, simulations, augmented reality, virtual reality and virtual labs, kind of variety of digital resources needs to be built in, so that that becomes engaging for them. So last not least, we are having many things, but we are not having many things. We are doing many things, but we are not doing many things. And there are many organizations, whether it is government, private, CSR, corporate social responsibility of different agencies, and also the corporates and big companies also. So and similarly the startups, volunteers in the system, even teachers, teacher educators and parents and students, so in the system. So we need to converge all our responsibilities, all our work, then only there will be a visible change. And then if I take you to how to address these issues and challenges through technology. So, the policy talks about that, and there are 2 dedicated chapters. The NEP 2020, I think you might have, all of you might have seen this national education policy document, which is nearly 63 pages document, and there are 2 chapters dedicated to educational technology, ICT and online education, chapter number 23 and 24. If we read the chapter number 23 and 24, chapter number 23 talks about use and integration of technology, and the chapter 24 talks about online digital education. So, while talking about this technology, and the policy has very emphatically mentioned that India is second to none in technology use and integration. So, like our space application program, like every now and then we see in the news that India has launched a new satellite, and recently also there was a satellite launched by ISRO. So, that shows our ability that how using technology and we can launch different initiatives, so that we make change in every aspect. And another thing is in the environment sector, like earlier if I recall my childhood days, so cyclones coming and devastating some part of the area, or maybe a state, maybe a district, maybe the whole nation. So, it was very difficult to predict precisely that the landfall of particular cyclone will be at this particular second, minute or hour. So, but now with the satellite images and the satellites launched by ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and the Ministry of Defence and other ministries also together, so we could get precise information on many things. So, right, so accurate information on many things, so that we can use that information to save precious lives of human being, and also start rescue operations, or even take precautions so that it does not make much impact, negative impact as far as the loss of human resources and other infrastructural facilities are concerned. So, if I talk again to come back to the policy part, and the policy talks about education and technology, it says these two are two polars, so two poles, so we cannot disintegrate. So, they are like two poles, one is education, the another is technology. So, and education using technology can minimize and overcome many barriers, like I mentioned many challenges and issues. So, certainly I strongly feel that the policy direction that it can happen. If I take you to the next slide, particularly the policy direction of 2020 NEP direction, the policy says that technology needs to be used in teaching, learning and evaluation process. So, whether it is a classroom teacher teaching to any level of students, whether it is in teacher education institutions or in schools or in a pre-primary school. So, we need to use that for not only for teaching, but also for learning and self learning by students, and not only also that for evaluation as well. Like many a times when all of us we do lesson planning or unit planning, for our respective purposes, whether it is people teachers developing lesson plan during their B.Ed, D.L.Ed and M.Ed training, and also similarly the teachers in classroom developing unit plan and lesson plans using ICT integrated lesson plans. So, we need to embed evaluation activities there. Many a times we use online quizzes. So, many a times we use also concept maps, so that whether students have understood or not understood, we use that to understand, and many more. So, teaching, learning and assessment process needs to use technology, that is the concern of NEP 2020. And the other concern of NEP 2020 is the technology needs to support teacher preparation. So, while talking about teacher preparation, the policy talks about teacher preparation at two levels. One is at pre-service teacher preparation level and the other one is at in-service teacher preparation level. While talking about pre-service teacher preparation, so those students, those who are in B.Ed, D.El.Ed or pursuing master's program in education, so there also technology needs to be used. Some online courses or some blended mode courses needs to be designed for them, that they not only learn only through teacher taught that process, that chalk and talk method a teacher is using. So, rather also using many other technologies, even specialized apps for different subjects. If I am a maths teacher, if I am using GeoGebra as a app and portal, so the GeoGebra applets could be used for learning different concepts also, whether some of all the three angles are 180 degree or the estimation part also. So, many applets could be designed and it could be taught as well. So, similarly at in-service teacher training level also, and if I recall the policy direction in the chapter where teacher and teacher preparation or teacher training is talked, the policy is saying that minimum 50 hours per annum mandatory teacher training has to be conducted for in-service teachers and teacher educators and head teachers also. So, therefore, it has become very pertinent that we need to use technology to reach out to a large number of teachers simultaneously in a year's time. I recall I joined NCERT in 1996. So, maybe by 2020 I would have managed to reach nearly 4% teachers across the country, even if using technology, but the 2020 taught us that how in pandemic condition we can use technology, and as a result of which the NISTHA integrated teacher training program came in, and a large number of teachers were trained in 8 months time. We could cover 24 lakh teachers across the country who were trained using online mode of training. So, therefore, the policy has very emphatically mentioned that technology including satellite technology and internet communication needs to be used. Even the blended mode of training, mixed method approach of training needs to be used, so that we can scale the number of teacher training in the country. I recall one of the statement given by Honorable Prime Minister of India in 2015 when Digital India campaign was launched. When Digital India campaign was launched, the main concern of the Digital India campaign, the vision was that providing basic minimum in IT infrastructure everywhere, whether it is postal department, school, Panchayati Raj, medical or primary health center in the village. So, minimum IT infrastructure need to be provided. Then the second one is the delivery of services to all stakeholders through online mode, and last not least digital literacy of everyone, all of us. It also is applicable for Simran and for me and for all of you. I think there are nearly 11,000 teacher educators and teachers. They are watching this program online. I could see from my mobile YouTube channel that NCERT official, nearly 11,000 plus teachers are watching this session. So, it is applicable for all of us. Digital education training, digital literacy of all of us are very crucial, because the delivery of services now, whether it is a certificate to be downloaded for children, those who have just passed class 10th examination or maybe PhD examination. So, using the digital DigiLocker, so students, their parents and all the stakeholders, they can preserve, download and preserve their certificates. So, therefore, that use and integration of technology for reaching out to the stakeholders, especially for training of a large number of teachers who are in India, is very key, and we being teachers and teacher educators need to understand that and use technology, whether it is Swayam platform, whether it is Diksha platform having NISTHA on Diksha, or whether it is PME Vidya DTH TV channels. NCERT is running 12 DTH TV channels, one class, one channel, class 1 to 12th, whether it is through that also. Because I remember when NISTHA integrated teacher training program started for elementary level. So, we had a live telecast of sessions of by experts on PME Vidya DTH TV channels as well, because the modules were available on Diksha. Video, text and quizzes were available on Diksha, but still to give a feel of that, okay, we are interacting with each other on a live platform, and you can ask a question and stop me and ask a question and you get my answer. So, that way we thought that let us use the telecast technology also for doing that. Even similarly, NCERT is feeding nearly 400 radio stations across the country, and there are 132 all India radio stations, they are feeding NCERT content. So, we can use radio as a medium to reach out to a large group of learners. And if I go to the fourth point, it talks about streamlining educational management and administration using technology. Today also, if we talk about educational management, I do not know how many of you are using e-office. So, many of the offices today, so they have converted to digital modes. You need not to send a file in physical mode, and if a officer very arrogant and sat on the file for a month, so the file is dumped there and the justice delayed is justice denied as well. So, now with the use and integration of technology, whether it is student attendance, students attended the school and how many midday meals cooked and how many midday meals served. So, these data could be collected instantly online, and the administrators can come to know that okay, these many teachers and these many students have reported today to the school, and these many students have learnt this thing in the school, and their worksheet is also uploaded on the website. So, that is also there, and as a part of innovations in the educational management and administration, I will cite one example that NCERT has come out with setting up of a Vidya Samiksha Kendra. It is a national level data center in school education. So, if you want to see that there are say 30 districts in Odisha. So, in Koraput district, how many teacher population is there and how many teachers are trained with elementary teachers training under NISTHA, and how many teachers are trained under NISTHA ECC, NISTHA secondary and NISTHA FNL. So, by sitting in Delhi also online, we can check that okay, these are the districts in Odisha, they have covered completely done 100% training, and these are the districts who have not done. So, with that we can approach to the diets, to the BRCs, CRCs and to the SCRT in Odisha or any other state, so that they can take appropriate measures, so that number of teacher training is covered. I remember a couple of weeks back, the Gujarat Vidya Samiksha Kendra, they wanted to implement a Prasast mobile app across Gujarat, because Prasast mobile app is a pre-screening disability checklist prepared by NCERT, and a mobile app has been developed. So, they wanted to use that in Gujarat. So, what we did, we just gave them couple of hours training how the Gujarat teachers can be used, and the Gujarat Vidya Samiksha Kendra Education Data Center took that as a challenge. Within 1 week's time, they brought in all Gujarat teachers to Prasast, so that every disability in any child, there are 21 different variety of disabilities we talk as per as the RPWD Act 2016 is concerned. So, how those 21 different variety of disabilities can be checked and reported also, and their education can be taken care of. So, we could see, and we were thrilled to see that all the states, they have started using it, and very soon we will be starting having a database of all the children who have difficulties in learning and how to guide them. So, similarly, it is also helping the educational administration in the sense, otherwise if we manually count the disability children with different variety of disability in schools, so it will be a Herculean task. But with mobile application, it has made very easy for all of us. So, similarly also any educational circular or any telecast schedule of PME Vidya DTH TV channels, I remember, and now also we could see there are nearly 4 channels, Haryana, Utkarsh Society is running for telecast of educational contents across Haryana, and they have recently been given 5 DTH TV channels under PM Vidya as a part of preparation for rolling out of 200 DTH TV channels by Government of India, which is yet to be announced by Government of India. We are testing these channels, and Haryana could develop everyday telecast schedule and monthly telecast schedule, and they are sharing with every teacher, every block, every district, every diet, so that the students, their parents and other stakeholders, they can come to know, okay, if their kids are studying in a particular class, they can see the telecast schedule and show that content to their children, so that they can understand in a better manner. So again, we are contributing in helping the educational administrators to reach out to every stakeholder. So whether it is teaching, learning, assessment, or transfer, posting, scholarship, or any other like I mentioned about midday meal scheme, even grading of schools, grading of SCRTs, grading of states under PGI ranking, as states are being ranked by Government of India, Ministry of Education. So educational administration becomes easy. 2 more points related to the NEP direction I must mention is removing language barrier. All of us, we know that linguistically we are very diverse. We have 5 distinct language families in our country, starting from Aryan, Dravidian, Austroasiatic, Tibeto-Burman and Andamanese language family. I repeat, Aryan language family, Dravidian language family, Austroasiatic language family, Tibeto-Burman language family and Andamanese language family. And there are 1700 plus languages spoken in India at oral level. Even many languages in India, they have scripts also. Many of us do not have scripts also, and there are 22 languages included in 8th schedule of our constitution, the schedule 8th of our constitution. So including many languages like Odia is a language included in the 8th schedule of the constitution, and similarly Santhali and also Bodo, even Kashmiri and also many other languages they are included, even Maithili also. So it is included in the 8th schedule language. So it is all our responsibility that we should use technology to develop content in Indian languages and disseminate across all the stakeholders, so that they find it easy to learn in their own mother tongue or in the local language or in the regional language, because the researchers have also proved that if a child is given a lot of input and orientation and the child is taught in his or her own mother tongue or the local language or the home language, so the child learns better, and also that local language, that home language, that regional language of the child which the child learnt, using that language learning principle, so the child can learn hundreds of languages at ease. So अभी चलते चलते आप अगर बोलेंगे we can talk in 5 different languages. So if I say that I will be taking the help of Google or maybe Bhashini, maybe Anubadini, and I will be translating 5 words. So in Sanskrit, atra, tatra, kutra, ekatra, sarvatra. I repeat, atra, tatra, kutra, sarvatra, ekatra. So if I say it in Hindi, तो मे बी आप बोलेंगे यहाँ वहाँ कहाँ सारे जहाँ, या तो सिमरन को अगर गुरुमुखी में पंजाबी में पूछेंगे इत्थे उत्थे कित्थे और 2 वर्ड और रह गया,
सारी जगह,
हाँ सारी जहाँ सारी जगह, और सर्वत्र एकत्र था और हाँ इकट्ठा
सारे थामाते।
अच्छा, तो वो भी हुआ। तो सिमिलरली हो सकता है तमिल में बोलेंगे तो इंगे उंगे बोलते हैं या क्या बोलते हैं, that you know better. So similarly even in Urdu we can also do that. In case of Odia, if I say एठी, सेठी, कोठी, सबुठी, एकाठी, तो उड़िया में हो सकता है बांग्ला में बोलना है, आसामिया में बोलना है, which is very closer to Odia family. So maybe एखाने, ओ खाने के खाने या खाने क्या बोलते हैं, तो हो सकता है कि many more languages using whether it is a Google translation or translation from Bhashini or Anubadini. So, using that multiple Indian language contents could be created using machine learning and machine translation, so that the translation and validation later on becomes easy, because the first draft the machine can provide. Even we are using couple of other applications also, like in our experiential learning center at CIT we are using Kibo also as an application to translate to many languages. We are now working towards translation of Anand and Unmukh, both the guidebooks which are included in the Jadui Pitara and pitched at foundational stage through foundational, the national curriculum framework for foundational stage, as a part of implementation of that as policy direction. So, we have also translated into many languages, almost 14 languages we have uploaded on Diksha platform, and many more we are also doing. Indirectly what I wanted to say, that if we include the policy direction in implementation of all such initiatives as part of digital initiatives, the languages like Andamanese which are verge of death, because UNESCO has declared Andamanese language family as an endangered language because it is in the verge of death, dying language. So, similarly many of our language, like if I talk about my children, 2 kids, so they were born and brought up in Delhi. So, they can speak Odia little bit, but they cannot write Odia or read Odia very fluently. So, because they, but if they forget to learn a language, and if people from Odisha migrate to different places and children learn different languages, but they forget their own language, then that language one day will come and will die. So, therefore, the policy direction is there that label based the medium of education should be the mother tongue, local language or regional language. Even the policy has recommended it not only for school education level, which is mandatory, should be done, and it should be done up to higher education level as well. So, that is the concern. And last not least point, which as a part of policy direction, then we can take some questions from Simran. So, and that will be that the policy emphasizes that there should be adequate access to children with special needs, the bank children, for use and integration of technology and digital education, because all of us we know that even all our 5 fingers are not equal. So, they are different. So, when we talk about human beings, even the identical twins are not similar. They have different taste, interest, intelligence, motivation and everything, they differ. So, we cannot say even the identical twins, fraternal twins, they do differ, but even identical twins also differ. So, therefore, how digital resources could be developed and used, so that the different group of learners we have and a diverse conditions diverse condition we have all in all our classrooms, so they can get resources. Suppose I have a visually challenged child in my classroom, so am I using audio books and talking books for that child? Am I using audio tactile intervention, so that when I am talking about currency notes, I am also giving coins and notes to the child to touch and feel and know that what is the denomination of that particular currency note, and also simultaneously I am giving the child some audio inputs. Similarly, if there is a HI child in my classroom, hearing impaired child in my classroom, am I giving the child adequate sign language inputs? So, a large number of sign language videos are now being developed across the country, and NCERT has signed MOU with Indian Sign Language Research and Training Center in Delhi under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and we are developing a large number of sign language content in our institute and having it telecast on Prime Minister's eVidya channels. So, are we using those resources in our classrooms, or is technology helping me to develop sign language content? Similarly, there are many children those who are autistic. So, तारे जमीन पर आप लोगों ने सभी देखा होगा आमिर खान जी ने कैसे वो क्या नाम था वो लड़का जो ईशान या
Darshil Safari, that was the boy,
हाँ
the little kid.
नहीं उसका नाम था जो कैरेक्टर का जो लड़के का ईशान है ऐसा कुछ था
Okay.
तारे
We'll
जमीन
try
पर
to
में।
recapitulate
हाँ जी
that.
तो how Amir Khan in Tare Zameen Par address that child's concern. So similarly there could be autistic children, they are maybe dysgraphia, dyscalculia or many more varieties. So how technology can address that, because sometimes those children, autistic children are very fond of computers. So are we helping them using different computer programming or different resources? So that is also very crucial. And also I must mention that the policy also talks about use of disruptive technologies. So by use of disruptive technologies we mean that the artificial intelligence, robotics, so machine learning, how it has changed our life and it is going to change our life, and how we should use it, that is also there. If I show you
so that awareness is also very important, and you have very appropriately pointed out that whether it's a field of science or technology, whether it's the space research or the integration of technology into education, India has come a long way. So sir, when we particularly talk about ICT, how is it taking place across the nook and corners of the country? So the policy directions, what are there? Please inform us more about that.
Thank you very much, Simran. If we talk about the policy directions, I have been talking about the 2020 NEP, but if I cut to this slide, so since 1972 there has been more or less clear cut policy direction for bringing educational technology into the forefront. So in 1972 we had educational technology scheme where Radiocom cassette players were distributed among schools so that they can watch and listen educational broadcast. And similarly in 1983 the Indian satellite was used for SITE program, satellite interactive television experiment, when it started in India and just before CIT was set up. So that time Dr. Yaspal and all they were in the ISRO and they initiated in collaboration with NCERT and many other organizations. So those were used for education purposes. Even in 1984, so we had class project computer literacy and studies among secondary schools. So there was a project where we received computers from America, and that time America was running courses for computer terrified, because people thought that when computer will come, so the job requirement in different workspace will be less, which was a misnomer. So similarly in 1986 also the policy had a couple of paras mentioning on how use of technology can be there in the education system. Even the NEP, when the program of action in 1992 came and the NEP was revised, and then also the educational technology, how it should be used in the educational system, it was also particularly mentioned. And again in 2004 the Government of India integrated the ET scheme and the class project and started ICT at school scheme. So under that 10 computer lab and a computer teacher and some of the resources were started giving to the system, particularly in secondaries, in secondary schools. And in 2010 again a major change happened, that the revised ICT scheme was revised and some of the components were added into it, including e-content development and ICT award. And similarly, in the year 2012, NCERT in collaboration with ministry came out with ICT policy for school education, and then in 2013 we had ICT curriculum and national repository of open educational resources in place. But after 2015, so when the Digital India campaign was started, so there was a sea change as far as the ICT implementation is concerned. You could see that the e-Pathshala and e-PG Pathshala were also launched, and in 2017 again Swayam MOOCs were started, and Swayam Prabha DTS TV channels were started. Even for school education also there were dedicated channels given, and Diksha was also developed in 2017 and launched by Government of India for the school education sector. And in 2018 again Samagra Shiksha was there, converging the school scheme, school plan and the teacher education plan, and the ICT component were integrated, and now the ICT component under Samagra Shiksha is from primary school to secondary school, even for teacher education institutions as well. So this was again, and a lot many guidelines including cyber safety and security were developed. And then in 2019 NISTHA integrated teacher training program was started, and again when NISTHA started, a large number of teacher training programs were organized, and guidelines for e-content development even for children with special needs were also developed. Last not least, in 20 and 23, in the year 2020 and 23, you could see a plethora of digital initiatives were started with implementation of the NEP 2020. So the NEP 2020 has also mentioned about setting up a national educational technology forum, which Government of India has already set up under the chairpersonship of Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, and it is set up at IIT Delhi, and the national digital education architecture has also been developed. Pragyata guideline for digital education in COVID pandemic situation was also developed, and the Vidya Samiksha Kendra was also set up, and now Vidya Samiksha Kendra is being set up across the country. Government of India has given up to 5 crore grant to the states for setting up a Vidya Samiksha Kendra as education data center. Last not least, as a part of implementation of the NEP 2020, NCF for foundational stage and NCF for school education have also come out. NCF for school education sector from class 3 to 12th is in the process of implementation, and the National Steering Committee led by Dr. Kasturi Rangan, they have submitted the NCF for school education to ministry, which is under process of approval. And also based on the NCF for foundational stage, textbooks have also been started development and implementation, and Jadui Pitara was also developed and distributed across the country for its use as a teaching learning resource for facilitating play based, toy based and game based pedagogy through Jadui Pitara. So with these words I stop here. If there are any questions,
of course,
maybe we can take up, then 2-3 more points I will be in between highlighting.
Okay,
yeah.
sure sir, and primarily I am delighted to inform all our viewers that we are joined by over 13,000 viewers through our NCERT official YouTube channel in the first place. Thank you so much for connecting with us, and keep on mentioning your queries, and we'll try to include all the answers within the programs itself. So sir, our viewers are asking about few of the major digital initiatives that have turned out to be a landmark in the history. If you could name them and specify them for our viewers.
Sure. Actually, if I come out to that screen, there are many digital initiatives which we have started at the national level, and there are 6 major digital education initiatives which we are implementing at the national level. You can see from here that Prime Minister's e-Vidya program, under Prime Minister e-Vidya program, so there is a means concern and vision that on air and online education should be implemented, whether it is through TV, through radio and through internet and for different stakeholders, for children with special needs and for rural kids also, and in multiple Indian languages contents. And similarly, the other initiative is Diksha, and it is also under Prime Minister's e-Vidya program, PM e-Vidya program. It is called Prime Minister's e-Vidya program. It is said that one class, one TV channel for rolling out television programs. And similarly, Diksha and Swayam are considered as one nation, one digital platform. So under Diksha, there are nearly 3,17,000 and more e-contents, more than 6,500 e-books in 36 Indian languages, Indian and foreign languages, and also there are nearly 9,000 plus e-courses on Diksha, and a large number of users are using Diksha because many states, almost 35 states and UTs including national agencies, they have been using Diksha. And if I talk about e-Pathshala is again a national initiative under Ministry of Education, Government of India. So it has all NCERT books digitized as e-books and provided there with QR codes, so that, and resources embedded into it, and even there is a talking book feature on e-Pathshala. So a visually challenged child or any other children, they can listen to NCERT book by using any third party TTS, text to speech app. And the fourth initiative which NCERT is working is Nistha. All of us teachers, we know Nistha. Nistha is not unknown to us. National Initiative for School Heads and Teachers Holistic Advancement. So through this, we have a plan. Every year we should train 85 lakh teachers across the country. And the fifth initiative is Swayam. Swayam is having thousands of courses and crores of people are enrolled on Swayam. There are 28 online courses run by NCERT on Swayam for class 11th and 12th students, where you can find resources in 4 quadrant, e-text, even explanation videos, and interaction could be done with the mentors, teachers, means those who are running the course, and there is a quiz platform using which so we can take the quiz and get a certificate. And similarly, there are other agencies, even NIOS is also running online courses using Swayam, and many Indian universities and IITs, they are rolling out online courses through Swayam. And last not least, the ICT curriculum. The ICT curriculum developed by NCERT is for school children and for students and for teachers, and we have rolled out this curriculum, and now we are in the process of reviewing the curriculum based on the National Education Policy 2020. So very soon we will have a new incarnation of the curriculum based on the policy direction.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for laying a very strong foundation of this particular training program and elaborating at length about the different policy recommendations with regard to NEP 2020 regarding leveraging digital technology for school and teacher education. Thanks a lot, sir. And let me very quickly take our viewers across the website of CIET NCERT so that you can get all the details regarding the 5 days online training program. So let's have a look at our screens. So this is the home page of CIET website, and it is www.ciet.nic.in. In order to obtain all the information about these 5 days online training program, just click on events, and the third last option says workshop/training. So once you click over there, all the details are mentioned under current activity. So this is our activity, that is the 5 days online training program for all of you, because we know that leveraging digital technology seeks out ways to employ technology to optimize organizational and individual performance. So one of the biggest advantages of leveraging digital technology in the classroom is access to vast amounts of information and digital tools that provides educators and learners with a virtually limitless supply of information on a wide range of topics. So just scroll a bit down. Here the objectives have been mentioned for you for the 5 days online training programs. Now the participation in the quiz, you all can participate in the quiz, the teachers, the students, everyone. Now apart from the program schedule, what you can do is you can participate in the post session activity, that is our quiz, and there are certain steps laid down for you. The first one says registration. Register yourself by clicking on this link. or either by scanning the QR code that is right there on your screens. Watch the live training programs through eVidya channel number 6 to 12, also through NCERT official YouTube channel. And the post-session quiz, that is the activity for all of you. You can participate, and if you score over 70%, then you can receive a certificate from CIET NCERT. Now, it's a humble request to all the viewers who have connected with us and who are actually enjoying the training sessions. Our request is that if you have any of the queries regarding certification, the certificate for the post-session activity, or regarding quiz, then all your queries and the answers will be addressed only if you share your queries at this mail ID that is flashing on your screens. It is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. And once again, thank you so much, Professor Behra, for being a part of this discussion and enlightening us with the important details of the training. And viewers, thanks to you as well for connecting with us. And before wrapping up this particular program, here is an important piece of information for all of you regarding the availability of NCERT textbooks. So, as you all know that NCERT textbooks for the academic year 2023 to 2024, they are available all across the country, and you may purchase them directly from the different sales counters of NCERT that are currently located at New Delhi, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Bangalore and Guwahati. Also, if you would like to place an order online for the NCERT textbooks, then it can be done through the website flashing as a ticker on your screens. Further, you can also download the soft copy or the PDF version of NCERT textbooks to different platforms. One of them is Diksha, another one is ePathshala website, and the third one is NCERT's official mobile application. To explore more about the availability of NCERT textbooks, feel free to explore the website of NCERT, that is www.ncert.nic.in. Once again, thank you so much for connecting with us, and do not go anywhere, because next up we have our session of Sahyog, where we try to provide guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support to all the students and viewers watching our programs out there. And the topic that we are going to discuss today is unconditional regard towards parents and teachers. And again, do not forget that tomorrow at the same time from 4 till 5 p.m. it's the second day of our online training program, where we are going to discuss about leveraging broadcast for digital education. So stay connected with us, keep watching eVidya channels, and do share your queries, your messages and your feedback, because it matters a lot. Namaskar.